I gotta know what your favorite Disney movie is.
Well, that's like asking what your favorite movie, your favorite band is, because it's like it's all contextual. So, because well, yeah, I mean, so if for those Disney fans out there, there is something coined as the Disney Renaissance, which would, early '90s to very early 2000s. And, so, there's the big guns, which are always, in order, Little Mermaid to, was it Aladdin? Little Mermaid to Beauty and the Beast, then Aladdin, Lion King, Hercules, Mulan, or was it Mulan? I don't know. Oh, that's true. No, thank you. I actually will say this. Aladdin is the closest to my heart because I don't know. You have, a male protagonist and, as a kid, I've drooled. That's not on the radio. You should get that, though. Did you see that? A piece of apple just flew from my teeth because I said Aladdin.
I saw that on eBay.
Yeah. Well, that's how excited I mean, if that's any indication of how much I like Aladdin, apple freaked out from my mouth. Okay. That was exactly what I was getting to. Hunchback is one of the most underrated Disney films because it came out at a very bizarre time and was marketed in such a way that it didn't really go over. Like most people, I'd say 9 times out of 10, would be like, "Yo, have you seen Hunchback?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Actually, no. I saw it when I was really little. I highly suggest anybody who has not seen it or has that answer, watch it again. It is so dark and so adult and so cool. It's like such a good movie. It's such one of my most underrated movies of all time. So I would say, yeah, in that respect, that's like my little, private fancy. Hunchback is a phenomenal movie, but Aladdin, back to nostalgia would probably take the cake.
Let's talk a little bit about Team Star Kid, that was also once known as Star Kid Potter. When did you meet those guys?
Well, it's all from college. I mean, we're all students from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and we're just in a very small department, which is the Department of Theater and Drama, which is within the School of Music, Theater, and Drama. No, excuse me, that's a misnomer. That. We were all in the same department at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and that department was for theater and stuff. And so, like many theater departments in any university situation, theater is inherently familial, and very small, and very intimate. So, everybody more or less, lives together, works together, goes to class together. After your classes, you do a show together, and so we're just friends from my class. I mean, my class was like 16 people in a university of easily 25,000 people, and this is like my small little family. So, it's a collection of different people in different classes. I'm a year behind some of the main people in Star Kid Potter, which would be Brian Holt and the Lang brothers, who are sort of the writing team. Then it kind of extends into a bigger family of actors and other writers and collaborators and stuff that are younger or older.
So Little White Lie came first with you guys, right? And you won funding for it.
Yeah, and that had nothing to do with anything that has happened for us now. We made that years ago, easily 3 years ago now. I actually really had very little to do with it. So these guys, Eric Congeo is a friend of ours who's always been kind of involved in the inception of this company now. He was a student friend. We're just friends, just messing around. And he won some company. I'm not the best person to give the details on it, but he won some. He won some contest for Soap U, I believe. But the short of it is that he was given a budget to create like a series of some kind, and so we shot it in Ann Arbor, and I was around, and so they needed songs for it, and I was like, yeah, I can write songs, and so I ended up being in it too, just because I was there to help out, and that was something that came and went, and that was it. We just shot it, and that was fun. A year and a half later, we did for fun this like Potter musical, and just like we do anything else, it's just something for fun. And so there were things from that first show, from Little White Lie, like literally a year and a half ago. They were like, oh yeah, we'll just use some songs from that and put it in this show, because nobody ever saw Little White Lie. And so after the complete unexpected accident of Harry Potter taking its own life on the internet, people were asking us for more, and we're like, we don't have it. Oh, wait, why don't we just put out Little White Lie that never really got any life. So it got a second lease on life. But that was something that way before anything was ever dreamed of, before Star Kid was ever a twinkle in anyone's eye.
There was a cliffhanger on that, though. I watched it. I know a lot of people asked, like, is there going to be more? That's just dead?
It's not that it's dead. It happened 3 years ago. And, you know, our lead actress was Canadian, and it was like everybody was just in town for the summer. I mean, of course, yeah, that'd be really fun, but, you know, I don't know if that's what the writers want to do, and it's by no malice that people are like, oh, we're not going to do it. It's just, it was a long time ago. People have moved, and they have lives, and it's very tough. It's very flattering that people enjoy the show. To us, by our estimation, we kind of joke about how, like, oh man, Little White Lie, like, it's embarrassing because there's things that we wish were better, and there's a lot of things that we don't feel represents us in the best light as production people, but you know, I'm glad that people like it. You know, I can't invalidate their support of it, you know, so I appreciate it.
It's been just over a year since a Harry Potter musical has premiered on YouTube. How's your life changed since then?
I mean, all kinds of crazy, man. Like I said earlier, this was totally unexpected. This is the best way I can put this, but for this whole sort of phenomenon, everything that's happened for us, I and my friends have, by my estimation, fallen ass backwards into, and kind of landed in this big pile of blessings, you know. And you get up and you're like rubbing your eyes, being like, what just happened? So for me, a lot of things hit at once. I booked my first professional series on this television series called Eastwick on ABC. That happened before we put it. No, it happened around the same time that our show was sort of gaining a lot of momentum on the internet. So they weren't necessarily, people were like, oh my God, did Eastwick happen because of, you know, the Potter thing? I'm like, no, in fact, I don't think anybody on set knew anything about it. Later did, because they would make fun of me about it, but it was never directly linked. It's definitely helped a lot of my friends. It's been really nice. I was already with this great agency out in LA for about a year, and one of the agents there is a big Potter fan, and so she actually gave me a call when she found out I was a client, and she found out about the show, and we got to talking, and some of the people from the show are now signed with the agency because of that. So that's really cool. That's really special. And so this woman has also been, her name is Pat Brady, a wonderful woman who has become our agent and sort of sensei in all things Harry Potter fandom and fan community, where she organized for us to go to various conferences and stuff and fan gatherings. And so yeah, actually next week we're going off to Orlando to go to the Harry Potter theme park, which is really cool. So it's changed in that respect. I mean, I never thought that I've always loved Broadway, but I never dreamed of being on Broadway. It's never my thing. I mean, I just didn't think it was something I could do really. So now it's cool that composing music for Broadway is a viable and real road that I'm sort of on. And in fact, I'm here in New York. I was just making a lot of meetings with different people, and a lot of I won't get too much into it. I'll spare you. But the point is, a lot of ideas and things that I would love to have happen aren't necessarily so ridiculous anymore. We've had a lot of positive support from a lot of big players that we actually know and enjoy the work of. So it's been cool to be contacted by these people. So I don't know. It's everything's in a very fetal stage right now, but it's exciting, and things are cooking. I'd say in a year or two, the Star Kid name and company will be a little more concrete as a company, and have a lot of things going on a more, not necessarily mainstream level, but more legitimate, I should say.